matter if you don't like that decision.
Welcome to the most must-see WWE talk show in history. Welcome to Miz TV.
Hey, this is TBK here. Got another good one for you guys. We'll talk about WWE Smackdown live show commentary reaction. We'll go over the review of this past episode of Smackdown. Also, for the bonus round, we'll talk about who will challenge Seth at WrestleMania. So let's get ready to get into it. We'll talk about the coverage of each match from SmackDown and give my final grade on SmackDown. So we're going to see how the show do, what happened, and also what to expect coming up as we're starting the road to WrestleMania, and we got Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. So let's see what's going on. So welcome to the live show commentary reaction. Now let's kick off what happened. Now Triple H, he said he would discuss the fallout of WrestleMania kickoff that happened. And he's mainly talking about Cody Rhodes and The Rock and Roman Reigns. And he further let people know that, it doesn't matter, as he said, what the decision is going to be. He said that the decision of Cody versus Roman will be final. So it will be officially Roman Reigns, Undisputed WWE Universal Champion, versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. He said that decision is final. He said if you don't like it, it doesn't matter what you think. Throwing shade at The Rock. And he tell people to know your role. It doesn't matter if you have a seat, referring to Rock's seat on the TKO board of directors. He threw some good shade, very good shade. Before we get into it, salute Good Bread, what's going on? He threw shade at The Rock. I thought was funny. Doesn't matter what you think, know your role. We could say storyline, which is true, but it's also real life of Triple H that we heard through there. As his real life name is Paul Levesque. I see that was all Triple H. That was a little bit of Paul Levesque. But he let the WWE Universe was in charge. He said that it doesn't matter what you think, but he also said everything is ran through one person. He said, and you're looking at him. So he's referring to himself. So I thought that was very good of how Triple H let people know who the boss is. Because he's saying he's not going to let The Rock just waltz in here, get a seat on TKO board, who hasn't even been around WWE like that hardly ever, except for experience on SmackDown, a few months back. And you about to start running things around here. And I've been putting work for the longest. Triple H is not going to let that slide, not one bit. Now, I know there have been rumors saying that Triple H is going to tease about Triple H and The Rock, having a match. But the thing I just want to make this clear: Triple H will not be coming out of retirement to wrestle The Rock. That's not going to happen. Triple H has if I say right, defibrillator in his chest. He cannot have any physical activity due to that. If he does, it's going to go off, and he's going to have a heart attack. Then he may have to go to the emergency room and may end up passing away due to that. It would trigger his condition. He is not going to stop that for any reason. The only way Triple H will be involved in any match if he's like a special announcer or timekeeper or special enforcer. I don't even think he'll be even special guest referee. There's still physical activity being a referee. That's not going to happen. Triple H will not come out and return to face The Rock. It's not teasing a match. Let's just make that clear. Let's get it over with. It's not going to happen with Triple H. No, no, no. He will not be doing that. So I don't see that happening at all. See, Stone Cold special guest referee. He could be involved in the match, depending on Stone Cold's schedule. That will be a surprise, but I don't see that happening. But Triple H, I know it's not going to be wrestling. No physical activity. He just letting people know he's in charge. He is in real life the executive vice president of live events and talent, and he's the head of creative. And on screen, he says he's the chief content officer. COO storyline, but he's really just he has a big position, and he's not gonna let nobody come in and just run over. So he letting the WWE Universe know who's in charge. So that's not gonna go down like that. I don't see that happening not one bit. So Triple H will not be. He ain't about to just walk over him, and he kind of showed that at the back at the kickoff. So like I said, he is not gonna be coming on no retirement to face The Rock. I wish they would have had one last match, but unfortunately they didn't. So that's not going to happen. It is what it is. Triple H retired. Rock, he still could wrestle another match, but not Triple H. That ain't going to happen. And like I said, he's letting people know who's in charge. And he's going to say Rock saying it doesn't matter what you think. You could know clearly that he was coming at The Rock, but they said The Rock and Roman Reigns will be at SmackDown next week. Paul Heyman said that later on Triple H that evening. So there will be no retirement match. But, Triple H did a good job kicking off SmackDown, let people know what's going on. What he did do, he made an announcement. And we got the first matches. We got Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. And Drew defeated AJ Styles. Now we could talk about the distraction. We had LA Knight come out. He was on commentary. A little distraction there when LA Knight was pouring water on AJ. He offered AJ a drink. He threw it at him, and it allowed Drew McIntyre to capitalize off of that. And he won the match. He is the first man to qualify for the men's Elimination Chamber. Whoever wins gets the opportunity at Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40. So he's the first man to qualify. So you just might as well put his name in there. Drew's name is in there. He won. He qualified. But I will say this too. Expect a future match of LA Knight versus AJ Styles. It could be Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania 40. They're going to eventually have a match at some point. So, oh yeah, also I am on X right now. So when we get to the bonus round, we will say our goodbyes to X and just continue on Red Carpet Reign. I'm not on Rumble today, but we'll put this on Rumble later. Now, I would say LA Knight and AJ Styles and LA Knight going to have a match. They've been teasing a feud for a while now. Ever since AJ came back, he's mad at LA Knight for taking a spot with Roman Reigns. Then they both competed in the Royal Rumble match for Roman Reigns Championship in a four-way along with Randy Orton. And now it seems like this feud is brewing. It's still LA and AJ. AJ LA. They just got a feud. But they're gonna have a match. This is a future feud. AJ will face LA Knight. Could be Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania. I don't know which one it will be. They're gonna have a match. That's for certain. They will compete against each other at some given point. That's the way I see it. Street fight waiting to happen. Yeah, could have a street fight. Could be LA versus AJ versus LA in a street fight. But these two are going to eventually have a match. Expected to be announced the next couple of weeks. Now we got Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. It could be announced next week, or I want to mention this too. Since AJ did not qualify for Elimination Chamber match, we do have, however, next week was announced. LA Knight has a chance to qualify for Elimination Chamber match, but it will be on Raw, and he's going to face Ivar. So he has a chance to qualify this Monday. Matter of fact, this Monday, Bobby Lashley's going to face Big Bronson Reed, and then LA Knight will face Ivar. Expect LA Knight to lose due to AJ Styles costing him that match because LA Knight distracted AJ, and he ended up losing to Drew McIntyre. So LA Knight will not qualify for the Chamber. Ivar will. AJ gonna come in, interfere, hit him with a forearm or, attack him. It's gonna cause Ivar get the win. But other than that, I do see AJ Styles and LA Knight having a feud, and it will be at one of these events coming up. One of these events coming up for these guys. They will compete. That's for sure. But it's gonna happen though at some point, and I can't wait to see it because these two I can see have good chemistry with each other. It would be a great setup. I would say, if anything, maybe a WrestleMania setup with these guys. That's the way I would see it. I don't see being on Elimination Chamber. If it is, it'll be a draw or something, but I don't see that happening. I see AJ in LA gonna be on a big stage, which is WrestleMania 40. I see that being a big stage. So definitely it will be that. Now, later on we have DIY versus Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Whoever wins qualify to get a Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. I talked about this before. DIY, it's gonna be it's those two teams that faced each other. It was a good match of these guys. Solid match, regular tag team match. At points, we thought DIY was gonna win. Then they was getting close. Then he had near falls. Same with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They were like they was gonna win. It was near falls. So due to that, it ended up being Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They defeated DIY. As you see here, they tried to show sportsmanship towards DIY, shaking their hands. And I think Johnny Gargano was the one pinned. So it was a good, solid match. Now, with this win, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate will go on to face the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, which is the Judgment Day, the team of consisting Damian Priest, Senor Money in the Bank, and Finn Balor. So they will face them at a later date. I don't know when that match will be announced. I don't remember seeing when that match will be announced, but they will face them off. And they'll get a shot at the tag team titles. I don't know what they're going to do with those belts. They need to break them up, stop making them undisputed. I'm getting tired of that. That's been going on for well over a year, almost 2 years now. These belts have been undisputed. They need to separate them, do something. But Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, great tag team. They had history in NXT as well as DIY. They've been tag teams in NXT off and on. So I will see Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They have a good chance of defeating Judgment Day. It's long, but I see interference from Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. But like I said, this was a great match, great setup. And they're going to go face the tag team champions. Now, we had another qualifying match. But before we get to the qualifying match, we had Braun Breaker meet with Triple H backstage. So he met with him. Thing about it is Is it a SmackDown or Raw? Which brand will Braun Breaker go to? Because it keeps Braun Breaker asked Triple H for advice. I got offers from SmackDown Raw. What advice can you give me? And that's before Paul Heyman interrupted and already mentioned about the interaction between Triple H and Paul Heyman, with Rock and Roman showing up next week on SmackDown. But meanwhile, Braun Breaker, what brand is he going to put him on? Because it keeps teasing. Now, he just won the Dusty Tag Team tournament with Baron Corbin on NXT Vengeance Day last Sunday. They're supposed to face the NXT Tag Team Champions, which is the family, which is Stacks and Tony D'Angelo. But now, what brand is he going to? He's still on NXT. Is he going to Raw, SmackDown, still on NXT? Is he doing two brands? It seems like WWE don't know what to do with Braun Breaker. I think he'll be a great addition for maybe SmackDown will be a good spot for him. He seemed better fit for SmackDown to start off. But Triple H said that he liked the growth and development of Braun Breaker for when he walked in, a few years ago, to see where he's at now. So that's very good. I'm glad he's going to get to the main roster. I just don't know what brand he's going to go on. They keep teasing Raw, SmackDown. He seemed like a good fit for SmackDown. I can easily see him going to Raw too. So only time will tell what brand he's going to go to. Only time will tell. We don't know yet, but we'll see. Can't wait to see what they're going to do with him. Then we had a little comic relief here. We had R-Truth coming out here. He was with Kevin Owens. They was talking about Kevin Owens. He thought that Kevin Owens was the Miz. Little comedy relief. That's what R-Truth does. I think Kevin Owens was he was mentioning to Dominic Mysterio that he's gonna face against Dominic Mysterio for the qualifying match next week on SmackDown. So Kevin Owens just let Dominic know that that's who he's gonna face after Dominic cut a promo saying that he will win the Chamber. Him and Mommy will have matching titles. Not so sure about that, Dom, but R-Truth just showed up, made a little funny segment. Meanwhile, we got we do have something else to talk about tonight. We're gonna talk about mainly. We had another qualifying match, like I said. It was Bianca Belair versus Michin. I don't know why they gave it that name, but they had a qualifying match for the women's Elimination Chamber. So with that being said, they had a solid match. We had that going on. It was Bianca, and Bianca defeated Michin, and she's going to head on to face, join Becky Lynch, and see who will win the Elimination Chamber for the women's. So we got that going on. Solid match. Michin backstage, she felt bad saying she tired of being upon someone, tired of people not supporting her. Could get a low heel turn from her. She could turn against the OC. I don't know why she's in that stable. She seems like she's a cheerleader for the stable. But Bianca Belair did qualify, and she's going to face off against Becky Lynch and other 4 opponents for the Elimination Chamber for the women's. And whoever wins will go on to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40 for the WWE Women's World Championship. So that was a solid match, like I said. Bianca Belair, this was so obvious that she was going to win. Did not surprise me that she won, but she won. Other than that, I'm glad to see her win. But Michin, I don't know what they're going to do with her next. I'm not sure what they would do with her. But other than that, though, it's going to be solid. It's like a good, solid chamber so far for the women. You got Becky, and now you got Bianca. So it'll heat things up. I want to see who else is going to qualify for the women's elimination chamber. I would like to see who else qualified, but other than that, I see it was a good, very good, good match, good setup. Now, since that was done for that part of the evening, we had to talk about another big storyline going on for the women. Speaking of which, we are going to talk about. We'll talk about Bayley. And Bayley comes out and she talks about her journey and being out of Damage Control, and talk about how Damage Control, she she said, I know, she told the fans, I know you guys always been with me. I know you guys glad. She said, she asked the fans, which was funny, do you think I deserve getting attacked by Judgment Day? She said, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. She said, but I'm glad you guys with me. This is basically her promo solidifying her babyface character now. She's officially a babyface. But now she's talking about her role with Damage Control. She's talking about how, she did everything for Io and Dakota, and how things shifted, like she said last week, with Asuka and Kairi Sane joining, which we knew was not going to last. It seemed so odd and out of place. But also, she talking about the WrestleMania. She's going to face Io for the Women's Championship. And then while she's cutting a promo, while she's talking to the fans, we get Dakota Kai pop out of nowhere saying, Bayley, have you ghosted me? Says she, I know Dakota Kai's close to return from injury. She's almost healed. And she said that in the promo. She's saying, I had to meet my doctors last week, blah, blah, blah. But, Bayley's not buying it. She's saying, whatever. We're worried, Dakota. You knew what was going on. Did you know about the whole setup that, Asuka and Io and Kairi had on me? She said, I didn't know. And she said, that's funny because you were always seemed like you were siding more with Io and Kairi Sane while they were laughing at Bayley. She had a good point, though. Very good point. It seemed like it was something funny with them, and it seemed like she was always siding with them. Every time the promo she talked to them, it seemed like she was always trying to side with them and going against Bayley. And then Io told Bayley, I appreciate everything you done. Your vision was right. Kabuki Warriors, won the tag team championships. Bayley, you won the Royal Rumble. You held to WrestleMania. She basically had nothing to do with it. No one's buying that. Come on, Dakota. It seemed like something funny with her. Now Bayley did ask her, whose side are you on? Whose side are you on? Are you on my side? Or are you with Io, Kairi, and Asuka? Whose side are you on? That's the question that she asked her. But before she could answer, we get Io side come out. It seemed like they was ready to attack Bayley. They got the chair. Dakota got the chair. They came out three sides of the ring trying to corner Bayley. And it seemed like Dakota was going to side with Damage Control, but she ended up fending them off with a chair. And she sided with Bayley. At the end was Bayley and Dakota in the ring. So it's just something fishy with Dakota Kai. It's fishy with her. I don't trust her. It's something fishy with her. It's just something about her I don't trust. It's something about her that's fishy. I don't know what the deal is with Dakota, but she seemed kind of funny. It's just something seemed funny with that. I don't know about Dakota. I think Dakota, honestly, is not really on Bayley's side. She seemed like it. Questions: can we trust Dakota Kai? No. That's even raised the question. I know. I said this myself. It's a good chance. I don't want to jinx it. But I think that she's going to turn on Bayley. And the thing is, she's going to not show it now. She's going to make it seem like she's on their side. She's going to cost Bayley at WrestleMania 40. She may cost Bayley's to win. That's the way I see it. She's going to cost her match. I don't think Bayley may not walk out because it's getting interesting now. Dakota may cost Bayley the women's championship match against Io at WrestleMania 40. She's either going to cost Bayley the match, or Bayley is going to see her try to cost it. She's going to end up hitting Io instead, or Bayley's going to able to fend her off and still get Io and win the championship. But expect her to try to cost Bayley the championship at WrestleMania 40 because she don't such to be trusted. I don't trust Io. I don't trust Dakota. Let's say Dakota Kai. I don't trust her. She can't be trusted. I don't think we can trust Dakota Kai. Keep an eye out for her because I think she's going to be healed up around WrestleMania. As she stated earlier, she is healing up. You know, she got the brace on her. She could eat very well be in functioning action around WrestleMania, and should try to cost Bayley the match. So let's keep an eye out for that. But I'm not buying the whole Dakota thing, and Bayley I don't think is either. But this is going to be very good, where it's going to go with Damage Control, Bayley, and Dakota. Is Dakota still with Damage Control or not? That's the whole thing. Because she came out of nowhere when Bayley was cutting a promo in the first place. So keep an eye out for that. I know I will keep an eye out for that. Now we had the main event coming up. The main event is Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn for Elimination Chamber qualifying match. I know they cut a promo with Sami saying, "How you feel about your match tonight?" He said, he mentioned a good thing. He said, "Last year I was in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 with the Tag Team Championships. He won with Kevin Owens, defeating the Usos, and in a long title run. And now he's saying, I don't know where my spot is this year." He said, Randy Orton's not going to be he's not just anybody's Randy Orton. He said he was a 13-time world champion. He botched that. Randy Orton's a 14-time world champion. And he said he'll be a good challenge. He'll be, he said if he could beat Randy Orton and get to the chamber and somehow get to Seth at WrestleMania, that would be great. He said that would be something to look forward to. So he's looking forward to that. But, you know, now that match, it was a solid match between Randy Orton and Sami Zayn. These guys, they you know, wasn't no crazy thing, but you know they did what they could. Sami gave everything he had. Orton gave everything he had. So it's not bad at all, you know. What more can you do regarding that match? But the guys, they did what they could. So solid match. You know, I think it's pretty obvious, you know, who won that match. But, you know, they had to make it seem, at least put up a good fight with Sami and Orton. Like I said, Sami's a great competitor. Been WWE for quite some time. But we had to know in this match that I don't know what they're gonna do with Sami. You know, what's the next thing for him? But it was Randy Orton defeating him, and Sami lost. So Sami lost the match. Randy Orton defeated him with the RKO. Randy Orton is the second man that will qualify in the men's elimination chamber at the Perth event. He'll be in that next man qualify. So Sami Zayn did not win. As we see, he looks disappointed and upset. But we did get a face-off at the end. We got Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre facing off against each other. So they're facing off against each other. They're going to both be the first two men in the men's Elimination Chamber. Now, question is, like I said before, what's next for Sami Zayn? Since he did not qualify for the men's Elimination Chamber, he did not defeat Randy Orton. Where does his character go from here? Who's he going to get a feud with? Will he even be at WrestleMania? Is he going to be a pre-show, undercard? What happens with Sami Zayn? Where does he go from here? Is Sami Zayn going to do? Are they going to do anything with him next? That's the main question. Now I'm asking you guys now in live chat. What happens with Sami Zayn next? Is anything going to happen with him? That's the question. I don't know. I don't think there's no major storyline for Sami Zayn. It's not a feud with nobody. He's on Monday Night Raw. He just came back at the Royal Rumble. What else can you do with Sami Zayn at this point? I don't think there's nothing you can do with him. If anything, he'll be like a pre-show, very undercard type of match. He's not gonna be no main event for sure. There's not enough time to build for something with Sami Zayn, and it's bummer that people felt bad that Sami did not win. Orton was the obvious pick to win and go to the chamber. Sami, I'm not taking up from him, but he's not on Randy Orton's level. Like he said, Sami Zayn said Randy Orton's a 14-time world champion. Sami, you never won a title, never won a world title. So it's going to be strange what's happened next. But what can you do? Now, they did announce too next week. I stated this earlier. The men's qualifying match for Monday Night Raw. We have Big Bronson Reed versus Bobby Lashley, LA Knight versus Ivar. That's going to happen. So those are whoever wins these two matches will be the third and fourth man added to the Elimination Chamber match for the men's, along with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. So more likely will be Ivar. Already explained, LA Knight will not win. AJ Styles will cost him the match. Ivar, and then I see Bobby Lashley going. So those will be the two men in addition to Randy and Drew. And then it'll be two more spots. And then next week, they also announced it's the women's. They have Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. On SmackDown, we have Shotzi versus Tiffany Stratton, the newest member of the SmackDown brand. Then a returning Naomi versus Zelina Vega. Let's be realistic here. For the women's Elimination Chamber match, for star power, for talent, Naomi will defeat Zelina Vega, and I will say Tiffany Stratton will defeat Shotzi. Shotzi's a great talent. I'm not taking enough from Shotzi. She's put on a great performance at the Survivor Series War Games. Trust me, I was there. I saw it in person. But Tiffany Stratton is a better competitor compared to Shotzi. She's the more popular, I should say, as well. So I see those two winning next week on SmackDown for the qualifying matches. But other than that, that was the end of the WWE Smackdown live show commentary reaction. Let's see. What do I think of the show? SmackDown grading was 4 out of 5. It was a solid show. I mean, a couple things I didn't like. A couple useless segments, pretty deadly. They were like annoying, really annoying. Then the whole R-Truth showing up. I know that was comic relief. They didn't really need him there. A whole bunch of useless stuff. But other than that, SmackDown was solid as always. Very good, solid show. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to win those Elimination Chamber qualifying matches on upcoming Monday Night Raw for the 12th of February. And also next week's SmackDown, who's going to win the women's qualifying matches. And whoever gets in that chamber will be added with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, the two women who have qualified already. So there's only 4 spots left for the women, 4 spots left for the men. So let's see who wins what next week and on Raw and SmackDown. So let's check that out. This is the end of SmackDown review, grading, analysis of the show. We have to say our goodbyes to X. If you want to check out the bonus round you got to come to Red Carpet Ring on YouTube. We are about to enter the bonus round, and the question is of the bonus round. So we got to say our goodbyes right now. But meanwhile, since we are entering the bonus round very, very shortly, like I said, we got a lot to talk about here. See what happens next, heading to WrestleMania. Now, the bonus round here, we got here, who will win the chamber to face the champion? That is the question. That is Wrestling News Week, day and night, for February 10th. Who's facing Seth at WrestleMania? Now, as we saw on Friday Night SmackDown, we had 2 matches. 2 people did make it. Well, unfortunately, 2 people didn't make it. So we already know that Sami Zayn and AJ Styles will not go to the Elimination Chamber, which means they will not be facing Seth Rollins. It's not going to happen. But let's go over who will go to the Elimination Chamber so far. We got Drew and Randy Orton so far, and more likely will be Bobby and Ivar. And then, probably Miz and maybe KO. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on. Who's going to face the champ? Because Seth needs a competitor. And I think it's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will win the Elimination Chamber. And the reason I say that because he has history with Seth Rollins. He's been in 2 title match feuds with him already. He faced him previously at Crown Jewel back in November. He did not win a title. And then he faced him again recently at the Day 1 event of Monday Night Raw on a USA Network exclusive, which was the beginning of the year, January 1st, Day 1. Also did not win. But it seems like they're pushing Drew more. Like I said, he's just the obvious winner. It seems like they're pushing Drew more, but he's the obvious winner. He's the only one that makes sense. Randy Orton, I don't see, who just came back doing it. Bobby Lashley, if he wins, he going to Chamber and winning. I don't see him doing it. Ivar, no. KO and possibly KO and Miz. No, I don't see that happening. Drew McIntyre is the obvious winner. He's the best choice. And you got to think about it too. Seth needs a serious opponent with Cody Rhodes choosing Roman Reigns. He needs someone that's going to continue to see like a serious threat to his title, especially headed into WrestleMania. Like I said, Drew and Seth faced off at Crown Jewel, Day 1. WrestleMania 40 could be the next match that they have together. Drew could very well win it, unless maybe with CM Punk. CM Punk comes in and costs Drew the match because he has been taking a lot of throwing a lot of shade towards CM Punk. But I see Drew McIntyre win the chamber. He is just. They have history. Like I said, it's a good feud. They could go off the feud for Crown Jewel Day 1. I just, I don't see him not winning. But Drew's getting a lot of screen time on Raw. I mean, aside from Cody Rhodes, aside from Seth Rollins, he's been the third guy on Raw getting a lot of screen time. So it could be very well be Drew McIntyre facing off against Seth Rollins. He could win that chamber. But it'll be a good match if it's booked right, of course. Like I said, Seth needs a good opponent. He needs one. This will be the first time that the World Heavyweight Championship, this particular edition, will be defended at WrestleMania 40. And with that being said, not only Seth, of course, I know he has a lingering injury, but he said he'll be ready for WrestleMania. Drew would be a good choice. Now, it could be argued that if they do have the match, let's not forget, even though these two could face off, at the WrestleMania. You know, we can't forget the another factor because he's been quiet. Haven't seen much of him as far as this goes. But Damian Priest can cash a contract during that match. He could do it after Drew McIntyre wins at WrestleMania or Seth retains. That can happen too. But like I said, Drew getting a lot of screen time. Now, my prediction for this particular match of Drew versus Seth. Who will win between Drew and Seth? That's the question. Will Seth retain or will Drew become the champion? I think Seth will lose at WrestleMania 40. He may lose. I can't see Drew losing for a third time. He already lost against him twice. But if Seth do retain and beat Drew McIntyre, expect the sneak up Mr. Damian Priest is going to cash in that contract. Damian Priest is cashing that contract after Seth retains the title at WrestleMania 40. Right after the match is over, he become new World Heavyweight Champion. Because like I said before, I said something about Damian Priest on here that he needs to cash in that contract very soon before it expires in July. We already in February. He has 5 months left to cash in that contract. If you don't, it's going to be void. So he needs to cash it in, and that would be a great time to do it. You know, I know Seth did WrestleMania, but he did it during the middle of the match. What's the best to do it after his match is over? But if so, you know, I can't see Seth losing at WrestleMania 40. I don't see him winning that match. I don't see him retaining that title because he had the belt for over 300 days. It'll be close to a year that he has the title. I can't see that happening. Let's see. CM Punk can take it from Drew too. That's true. He can, depending on when the timetable when CM Punk returns. And yes, that's true. They got a beef, and I said that earlier. That Drew's still wearing a shirt for, CM Punk mocking his injury that he did on screen on Raw a couple weeks ago when, of course, when CM Punk announced that he will not be attending WrestleMania 40 this year due to his injury. But yeah, Seth will lose. Drew ain't gonna keep losing that many times now. And besides the fact of that, it'll be a great match for WrestleMania. It'll be a great match. Drew should win. But like I said before, don't be surprised if Damian Priest sneaks up on Drew or Seth. He could sneak up on Drew too if Drew does win, and Damian Priest can say, I'm cashing in now. So Drew may have his moments, WrestleMania moments they call it, but Damian Priest can sneak in and say, hey, I'm cashing in now. So that could be everything, because they need to do something with that contract sooner or later, but rather sooner, much, much sooner before it's too late. But you said a good thing about about CM Punk. CM Punk can't come back and win that title. But I do not see Seth Rollins walking out of WrestleMania with the title. But, Drew, I just don't see Drew losing though either. Drew does, even if he does have the contract cashing on him, can't see him continue to lose to Seth. He's going to figure it out. He's going to have the momentum going in. Drew, all that momentum, you're going to put Drew in an Elimination Chamber. You're going to have him win the Elimination Chamber. Then he goes to WrestleMania to Seth. And he faced off twice already. He already faced him at the Day 1 and Crown Jewel, only to lose again come on, that don't make sense. Drew needs this win. I mean, anybody the live chat, do you think Drew needs this win? Drew needs this dub for WrestleMania. He needs the dub. And we're saying right there, give it to Drew. Yes, he needs it. He needs this win. Drew will resign and drop title Punk. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. But it's going to be a good feud if Drew does win the Chamber, which I do see happening. They got a contract signing. It could be going off the past of the whole, we faced off against Crown Jewel. We faced off against Day 1. This will be good. They got a good contract signing. good feud, everything, but keep out. So it seemed like the two factors following this feud, because we could talk about CM Punk, but it seemed like the two people that do have a feud with Drew, it seemed like CM Punk and Damian Priest are both enemies of Drew. So either one of these two could be the X factor. It could be Punk, it could be Damian. Could be Damian or Punk. Those two are past enemies of Drew. Damian Priest, he already had beef with Drew back to a Survivor Series when I think Drew was heading the Judgment Day into the War Games match. They had a match. And of course, recently with CM Punk, him returning, Drew storyline, writing him off with the injury, and then making shirts going on social media like TikTok and others mocking CM Punk. So those two people could be a key. One of those two or both could be key factors of when Drew wins the title at WrestleMania or close to winning. One of these two guys you got to keep an eye out for: Punk returning or Damian Priest come with the contract. So, yes, Sammy's the dark horse. I forgot about Sami Zayn too. Sami Zayn also an enemy. So, because he took Sami Zayn out. So, he's another enemy of Drew. Because remember, Sami Zayn did not win the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Randy Orton did. So they need something to do with Sammy, and that could insert him into this storyline with Drew. He is another enemy of Drew. Very, very true. Very good point. I forgot about it. We so focused on Punk and Damian Priest. Can't forget about Sami Zayn. So all these guys are key factors. But I do see Drew McIntyre winning Elimination Chamber. He will face off against Seth Rollins. I do see that happening. I can't see anybody else winning. We have a question. Do you think Bobby will qualify? Yes, I do. I do not see Big Bronson Reed winning. Now, if he does lose to Big Bronson Reed, it's because Karrion Kross interferes. Because remember, Bobby has a beef with the Final Testament leader, Karrion Kross, and Bobby, is the leader. That's the only way he'll lose. If it's not for Karrion Kross interfering in the Final Testament, Bobby will qualify for that chamber. So that's a good point. But I think more likely Bobby will qualify, but that's only if Karrion Kross show up, which he could. He might well show up. But who's winning the chamber is going to be Drew. Drew's winning that chamber. There's no way around it. Drew will win the chamber. He will face off against Seth Rollins. We know they have history. We know there's a beef between these guys dating back to Crown Jewel, because he was Seth's opponent right after Shinsuke Nakamura feud's done. And we don't want, and like I said, Seth needs a serious threat to the belt. Seth has not had a serious belt in a long time. So that's something we need right now. We definitely need that. Right now. So how will Bobby be eliminated from the chamber? That is similar to what I said of how he may not qualify. Expect Final Testament to come in and interfere in that match. Final Testament of Karrion Kross, AOP, those guys can interfere during that match. They could. So, but like I said, I don't see him losing. We got a lot of good matches coming up with the qualifying chamber, because the Elimination Chamber is 2 weeks away. It's in Perth, Australia. Now, I haven't heard much of Intercontinental Championship thing either, but I definitely see Drew McIntyre winning the chamber. And I don't think he's ever won a chamber. It would be good for him to win the chamber. Very good for Drew to win the chamber. Like I said, he's been on the roll. Drew has a new character. He's mocking people. He's trolling people. He's going off. So it'll be good for it'll be good. It'll be a good thing for Drew. A good setup for him. Good setup for Drew McIntyre. Definitely good setup for him. And he's never been the world heavyweight champion. Only Seth's won the title. He's been WWE champion twice, but never world champion. Let's see. Braxton Hardison. He said Seth beats McIntyre and is injured again during it. Priest cashes in, and Rollins gets to leave, takes some real time off while Priest beats McIntyre. Yes, I said that. I said that earlier that Damian Priest and CM Punk and Sami Zayn are X factors during the whole feud with Drew McIntyre. Yeah, either Seth retains or Drew wins and Damian Priest cashing his contract. Yes. So like I said, Drew could win, but he could lose too. Either way, it'll be a great story for WrestleMania 40. Very good story for WrestleMania 40. Did you peep how far Montez stood far from B-Fab in the promo? Oh, yeah. Very far. You don't want no problems. Just my observation, they should use Bianca. They could, but the thing about Bianca, she's her own. She's her own entity. She's her own name. It would be pretty much her taking a back seat if she joined Bobby Lashley. So I think she's fine on her own now. Would it be great to add her to Bobby Lashley's Street Profits? Absolutely. But yeah, this will be a good match for WrestleMania. And like I said, I do see Damian Priest, as Braxton stated, that he could cash in the contract. I could see that very well happen. Because Damian, we cannot forget about that contract. And then, like I said earlier, Damian's been very quiet with that contract. He has not made any noise. The only time you hear Damian is his segments with R-Truth for comedy relief, or when he's defended the Undisputed Tag Team Championships with Finn Balor, which they're going to defend soon against Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, due to them winning the qualifying match, number one contender match for it. So Damian Priest may cash in, but Seth may retain. You never know. You never know what the next move is going to be. But other than that, though, like I said, Seth, he does need to heal. He's hurt real life. So, as Bryce has stated, Seth needs rest and maybe even getting surgery, because he's rehabbing now. So Seth's going to be out for a while. That's why I think he would lose at WrestleMania or have a cash in right after, because he's still injured. I know it's a grade 2, but rehabbing means you'll have to get surgery, but you're definitely putting your health at risk. But he's going to get surgery. He's going to get surgery, and he's going to need to get surgery to fully heal from that. But definitely something that something Seth needs to do. You know, he's been out for quite some time, but we got to see what's going to happen next with the whole, of course, Seth and Drew. That's the whole key. Seth and Drew is what we're going to get. That's what we're going to get on in. But definitely something good to see. Cannot wait to see what happens next. At least I can't wait to see what happens next. But it's gonna be a good one. Definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. Let's see. R-Truth is gonna sell the cash in. R-Truth already ruined enough for Damian Priest. I mean, he cost him a match already against Drew McIntyre. He's going Raw. If anything, R-Truth will cost Judgment Day the tag team titles. I don't think he's gonna cost the cash in. He may cost that, because that's gonna really hurt Damian if he don't cash in the contract successfully. I could see him selling them on the tag titles, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne may win those titles from the Judgment Day, because they ain't done nothing with those belts. So if anything, they'll cost them that. But definitely, it's gonna be a good one with Seth and Drew. And also, I'm interested to see how Drew title run is gonna go, or Damian Priest cash in. How will the title run go? We saw how Seth is as champion. He's a fighting champion and led to his injury. Sorry to say that, but it's true. But I want to see what's going to happen. We need a new champion. That's nothing. We need a brand. We need a new world heavyweight champion, because we have Seth, like I said, for over 300 days. So, and I said this before, we need a new champion. We need a new world heavyweight champion, and I think Drew will be the man for the job, or Damian Priest. Either or. They Seth Rollins walking out with the title. Once Seth is not retaining, I think it won't be an issue at all, for that matter. I don't think so, because we do need that. We need a new champion. We need someone that's going to, be a good, at least a good champion, to say the least. A champion that we know that's not going to take no crap. A good champion that will step up. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. All depends how it's going to be booked at WrestleMania. But I think it'll be great to see what happens next with Drew and Seth. But I would really like at least Drew to win, or Damian to cash in. One of those two need to cash in. Somebody need to cash in his contract, because it's going to be useless if he don't ever use it. But we do need a world champ. We need somebody that's going to be on Raw, healthy, unlike Seth Rollins right now. And I think that'd be great to have. But Seth is going to more likely get surgery. He's going to heal up and rest up. But like I said, I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen next with Elimination Chamber, because we do have that coming up in Perth, and it's going to be here before you know it. Definitely here before you know it. It'll be so crazy. I think that crowd will be crazy, similar to how Montreal was last year when Sammy faced off against Roman for the title. So I think it'll be amazing. But like I said, we got to watch out for the common enemies: CM Punk, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn. We got to watch out for those individuals regarding if Drew wins the chamber, because he very well could be the top pick to win, the favorite to win going into WrestleMania. So I cannot wait to see what happens next. But we gonna see. We on that road though. Definitely working WrestleMania. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, but it's gonna be good. And I can't wait to see what the next move gonna be with WWE. I know that the Philly crowd will be crazy at WrestleMania. I know for both nights. I don't know if we a night one or night two match. Expect it to be a night one match if this happens at WrestleMania. Night two will be saved for Roman and Cody. This will be a night one match for main event. So it'll be the end of the first night. That's another thing. We talk WrestleMania, we keep forgetting it's 2 nights now. And that's the third year they've done it. So we're at night two, this will happen. And it's going to be amazing first night. Then we got Cody and Roman. The match, we're going to see this time around. If Cody, will he finish the story? But this match will be a night one match. Definitely a night one match. But I cannot wait to see what happens next, because we need a change with champions. We could very well see both world champions, Seth and Roman, lose at WrestleMania 40. Night one and night two. So we could very well see that. But other than that, though, Drew will be, I think he'll be a great champion. He's in a brand new character. And I think it'll be something to do. And even if he does get cashed in with Damian will be interesting as well, because Damian will never been a world champion. It'll be a first for him. So definitely something interesting, definitely something to check out. And like I said, cannot wait to see what happens next. Every day in WWE is something crazy going on. As they say, you never know what happens. Anything can happen in the WWE. And we saw that with the WrestleMania 40 kickoff happened Thursday night. So definitely something to check out. I cannot wait to see what the next move is going to be. It's gonna be interesting. Definitely interesting. And other than that, though, we're gonna be there. It's something we're gonna check out. And that's all I have regarding Wrestle Week news, Wrestling News Week day and night. Who will win the Chamber to face champion? Who's facing Seth at WrestleMania? And this is for February 10th. You guys let me know in the live chat in the comment section below who you think is going to win the Elimination Chamber for the men's coming up in 2 weeks, and who will face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40 for the World Heavyweight Championship, preferably night 1. Soon 2 videos will pop up for Red Carpet Ring on YouTube. The first video will be when he turned heel regarding The Rock. I did that on the WrestleMania 40 kickoff. Check that out. The next video will be Love in WWE episode 2 recap. That is the recap of the Love in WWE reality show of Bianca and Montez. Check that out. We'll be doing more videos on that whole reality series. Very interesting show. Until then, it is OUT.